Let me have a drink before we start. Alright, try and have a drink before I start. So I completely shot myself on the foot here because I was scripting for Buck being next, and my dumbass forgot that Bomb King is in between Barrack and Buck. So I have a script ready for Buck, and I have a script ready for Cassie, and I have nothing for Bomb King. So fuck it, we're gonna wing it. So Bomb King is in my opinion, is one of the most effective damage champions. He is more of a support damage champion, and what I mean by that is, if you were to compare him to the rest of your damage champions, he supports the team as a whole better because of his 2 CC abilities. Because he has CC in his loadout and the area damage, it makes him a bit more beneficial to the team than Cassie and Drogos and Leon. Although Leon has Death and Taxes working her advantage to support the team, where she just is instant auto-aim cauterized, or Canessa. Or Canessa, really her big thing to support the team, though she's got the mines, and they knock people off horse, and then it's better than Shaolin, and it's better than Strix. The only one I can really say the damage category that gives Bomb King a run for his money is Tyra, because she can have a cripple bomb, she can have the direct and the AoE damage, which is the only thing she has up on Bomb King, really, and she can reveal multiple people at a time without the need of without a lengthier cooldown like Cassie with her ultimate. So we look at Bomb King. Now, Bomb King is one of those champions that has good legendary cards. All of his legendary cards are good, in theory. They all require separate execution in order to be effective. So, Bomb King has 2 cards that are pretty good no matter the situation. They're both for Grumpy Bomb. And then he has 2 cards that are for his primary weapon that are decent. Royal Subjects, in my opinion, is what I like to call a noob tube card. What that means is, it sucks. Increasing the explosion size of the sticky bomb is if you miss the sticky bomb. If you miss hitting your target with the sticky bomb, and you just decide to detonate, it lets you do a lot of damage anyways. You can still damage an enemy just by missing them. So yeah, I run across a lot of Bomb Kings that do that, where they don't even bother trying to hit. Like, a lot of times you see those chuck bam, chuck bam, chuck bam. The bam, by the way, is the detonate, because that's the animation that he does. See, watch. See? This is what a lot of times. Tell me you don't see this a lot, okay? Now this is, right? Watch.
First blood. Keep up the good work.
Tell me you don't see this a lot. You see that a lot on Bomb Kings. That's what Royal Subjects is. This is the definite. If you ever want to know what Royal Subjects does, that's Royal Subjects in a nutshell. Lots and lots of bombs. Now, we're not going to talk about the loadouts right yet, because one thing about Bomb King that's rather interesting is all of Bomb King's loadouts can really be used with any card. It makes him versatile. So literally, Bomb King the only thing we really need to focus on once we're done with the differences in your legendaries and your kits is just quite simply how to play them. What to do and what not to do. Chain Reaction is one where your bombs deal more damage. So, again, same build. Now, I'm going to come over here for this. Just to show you. So, watch. That's the same amount of damage. That's not what it means. Okay, you can't hit somebody.
Don't push your luck.
It's not the same person where if you hit them with a bomb, detonate, and hit him with a bomb and detonate, that's going to do the same amount of damage. It's not going to do that. So, that's important to note, because a lot of people think that. This is what it does. So, watch. So we do 900 damage. Right?
Don't give up.
spree.
Give up.
See? Just faster burst damage.
Missed
Nah.
me.
Change champion again. It's not, in my opinion, it's not as effective as a card as even compared to Royal Subjects. These two cards are cards I personally never run because they don't really benefit the team that much. They just benefit you. These are the two you want to run, Demolition and Accelerant. Now, this is Demolition. Now, Demolition, the key to Demolition is you are going to be, it's going to hit a larger radius. So you chuck your Grumpy Bomb out, and after a little bit of a burn time, oh, it stuns me.
Double kill.
So, that's the Grumpy Bomb right there. Now, Fernando had his shield up.
Killing
Say
spree.
bye-bye to Fernando. Now, next thing is Accelerant. Now, Accelerant is another good card. I'll use the same build. This is what Accelerant does, and this is important. That is a lot faster.
Double kill.
That's a lot faster right there. Okay? Boom! As opposed to that quicker time. So that's why those two cards are your best cards. Now, I'm on Accelerant. I'm going to stay on Accelerant because that's what I'm going to need to showcase the rest of the kit. So now we go to your loadout. So, Accelerant. So now what do we have for options? Now, if you notice, a lot of my cards are the same thing because of how I play Bomb King. Bomb King is a relatively a high-risk, high-reward champion. And a lot of his kit is built around, you know, movement speed and agility, and I'm not one of those people that likes movement speed and agility. So, in my opinion, I generally don't focus on that as much. Looking at King's Big Hug. King's Big Hug this is my go-to build. This is a very generic standard build. This is more of a self-sustain. You have extra health, your bombs deal less damage, and you heal for every sticky bomb you detonate. Now, 450 doesn't sound like a lot, but look at it as 50. So if you chuck 5 bombs out, you heal for 250. So you heal King's New Cloak. So 5 bombs on King's Court is a King's New Cloak. That's the way I look at it. It's not great, but it's a little bit of health every time you detonate a bomb. For example, let's say your healer is dead. You can expedite the process of healing. You're on the point by yourself, and the other team is coming. You can expedite the game very quickly by chucking bombs ahead, covering entrances, and detonating them. Reload and doing that again, because you're going to heal every time you detonate a bomb, and on the off chance that they do come through there as you detonate, you can burst them down for damage pretty quickly. So, in a situation where, you know, you've got the last man standing trophy, I still want to get my hands on it. It's the only thing short of a platinum I need. You can use that very effectively to burst down a target and heal yourself up. Now, you're not getting a lot of healing, but something is better than nothing. And you could max that out where you could have 75 every sticky bomb detonated. I really don't. I mean, it's an extra 30 for 2 extra points, and you really look at it this way. An extra 30 health per sticky bomb versus an extra 100 health. That's what you have to consider. Jolt is in every one of my builds because at a lot of Bomb King mains, I find out a lot of the Bomb Kings that I play with don't run Jolt. They do not run it. And that really surprised me. Because Jolt is a staple of my Bomb King builds. Because of the fact that it explodes on contact, it gives you an escape option. Watch. So we're going to run this build. And also, the Fallout card is in there just because, you know, I tend to use Grumpy and Poppy a lot. So, hitting an enemy with a Grumpy Bomb reduces the cooldown on Poppy. So, it means that my escape option is a lot better. And you have to realize that with your Poppy Bomb, if you want to look at your kit real quick, this is what you have. You have your Sticky Bomb and you have your Detonate. So, you basically have 2 buttons mapped to the same ability. And then you have your Grumpy Bomb which is this big area thing that it deals 800 damage at close range. The farther out you are, the less damage you're going to take. If you're at the fringe of it, you might get stunned, but you're not going to take any damage. The Poppy Bomb is the big thing, because, boing, here's why. So watch. This is what Jolt does. Whee! And then on the build, you can turn around. I'm gonna wait for the cooldown to go. And there, the cooldown's gotten taken down. This is the risk you have to run, unfortunately, with Bomb King. If you want to talk about your loadout, right? So you use this as an escape ability. Right? Or do you use it for damage? Now, Bomb King is very interesting. Now, a lot of people want to talk about your aim, and I'm gonna, before I go over the rest of the loadouts, I want to talk a little bit about kit. A lot of people talk about your flick aim with Androxus, where you need to flick and flick and flick and flick and flick and flick. With Bomb King, you require timing. Let me explain why.
Goodbye.
I'm off a little bit, you see. Ready? Go. Missed that horribly. See what I'm trying to do here? The problem with Bomb King is that it's not like Androxus where, and then BAM! I have to actually remember not to press detonate like that too early, that you wanted to hit or you wanted to get closer. I timed that wrong again. Before you detonate it. Or a better option, if you know you can't hit them dead on, do that. The wall behind. And that's another thing you can do pretty effectively with Bomb King. If you head over to here. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. Here we go.
That's 5 in a row.
See what I'm doing right here? See? That's another effective thing. Try and hit the ground where you think they're going so that you can get kills that way instead. Now, to the loadouts real quick, just to show off the rest of them. Remember I said I don't have much variation? Well, this is what I'm talking about. Around your Poppy Bomb. So, I still have Fallout 1. Jolt 3. Now, this is if I want to use it offensively. This is a much more offensive build than the other one. So, every time I hit this right here, the backdraft card, that's a filler card. If you don't want to run that because it's not a benefit, I mean, that just makes me feel good inside running that card. But to be honest, I'm probably going to end up taking it out of this build when I crunch my numbers on this. But the Jolt is much more effective because now you can knock back enemies even further. The disadvantage that you have to run with this is Jolt 3 and Jolt 1 are very different. So you are going to knock enemies back higher into the air, but not necessarily farther away. Okay? Versus Jolt 1. On Jolt 1, if you directly hit them, they'll go backwards. They'll go a little bit up and backwards. On Jolt 3, they're going to go up. And they're going to go a little bit backwards. But they're going to go mostly up. So that's important to know. Another build that we have the Grumpy Gonzalez. This is more of a speed. This is more of a mobility type one. Again, you notice I have Fallout in it because this is more built around your Grumpy Bomb. This is very good with Accelerant because of the fact you're getting basically Nimble 3 for 2 seconds every time you get a Grumpy Bomb. So the more often you have your Grumpy Bomb out, the more often you're able to move around faster. So a lot of times what I will end up doing is I will Poppy Bomb into the air, chuck a Grumpy Bomb, and when I land, I have that movement speed. Now, I've got to time that perfectly, because 2 seconds is not a lot of time. Usually by the time you land, the Grumpy Bomb is already out, and you've used it, so you lose the movement speed. But, just as an example. And then Anti-Bomb King, this counters other Bomb Kings. Now, Bomb Shelter is in every loadout. King's New Cloak is in every loadout. Jolt is in every loadout. Why? Because these are the best cards you can run. Bomb King's ability to kill himself, like, that's the problem that I have with Bomb King and Eevee and Pip, is I have to run that stupid card to keep me from damaging myself. And I wish Drogos and Willow had him. Like, seriously. Guys, you deal damage to yourself. Why? It's your weapon. That's stupid. But Anti-Bomb King is nice because, you know, if you're running... This is a good build for a Bomb King 1v1 because you automatically have the advantage in your loadout. So, I mean, that's a big deal for me. But, Accelerant, we'll just run my basic build just because. Now we'll talk about some tips and tricks and some items. Items! What does Bomb King need? Doesn't need Illuminate. Again, Illuminate is only if you're going up against someone that is invisible. Sky, Strix, Shaolin. Shaolin and Sky, maybe. Strix, there's no reason for it. Bomb King should not be actively hunting the Strix at that range. Coming to get you. I'm Bomb King! Bomb King, damn it. I'm coming to get you. So, no. Don't buy Illuminate. Blast Shields and Haven are obviously staying. If you are going up against the Drogos, you want Blast Shield. Okay? Drogo's Bomb King is a wonderful fight because Bomb King has less aerial mobility, has less mobility than Drogo's does, but Bomb King has the ability to knock Drogos out of the air, Grumpy Bomb and Poppy Bomb. So it's an interesting matchup basically of who can kill the other first. And Bomb King does have, if he uses his Poppy Bomb properly, he has aerial mobility. So he can actually poppy up higher than Drogos sometimes and go, "Hi, how you doing, Drogos?" and start raining bombs on him from above and force Bomb King and force Drogos to go into the air and kill the Bomb King when he's down. It's like an elevator war or something. It's funny as hell. Haven. Basically, again, these are all choices based off of your enemy team comp. Resilience is good because one thing you have to realize, the enemy team is going to generally bring their own CC attacks against you to keep you from bringing yours out as often. So Resilience is a good thing if you don't want to run what I call my Anti-Bomb King. Looking at this category right here, Chronos is not good. This is something I like to tell people. If you only have 2 abilities that have a cooldown, don't buy Chronos. And this is something I have to tell people a lot of times. Now, who are champions that only have 2 cooldowns, you might ask? They're very few and far between. Well, besides Bomb King, you have Moji. And I think that's it. Am I right? Am I right on that? Yes, just Moji. I tell people this a lot with Bomb King and Moji. Stop buying Chronos. You don't fucking need it. You have 2 cooldowns. You're wasting 2,000 credits, basically. Or no, 2,400. 2,400 credits, basically. Sorry, my math is off. I haven't had my tea yet. I'm gonna make a cup of tea after this. 2,400 credits on 2 fucking abilities. I don't care how good Magic Barrier is. I don't care how good Grumpy Bomb is. I don't care how good Scamper is. I don't care how good Poppy Bomb is. You're not going to spend that much in credits on 2 fucking abilities. Especially when you can reduce the cooldown in your loadout. Nimble Morale Boost are definitely ways to go. Master Rider if you feel you need it. In my opinion, Bomb King doesn't need Master Rider as much, with him being a lower health champion, and positioning is not as important because his Poppy Bomb lets him get in position quicker anyways. So, like, if you get knocked off your horse early, you can Poppy Bomb forwards. Positioning is not as important. Aiming, in my opinion, is more important than positioning. You will win more games with your aim than you will with your positioning on Bomb King, and few other champions can say that, believe it or not. I mean, Bomb King relies so much on his aim. That's why Master Rider is not a good thing. Nimble for the movement speed, just because of the fact that if you're not using Poppy Bomb as mod, if you're more of a ground-based Bomb King, then it's very effective. you need that movement speed to kind of move around. You're on the slow side for movement speed. You know, Tyra's faster than you, and she doesn't have an escape ability. And then morale boost is always a good choice on him, because his ult is overpowering. Looking at your healing abilities, again, Veteran is stupid. Rejuvenate, if you're running multiple healers, not as effective in my opinion as Life Rip and Kill to Heal. Life Rip will give you close to 300. I believe it'll give you about 270 per sticky bomb that you detonate. So, that's if you hit it, obviously. That's if you do the damage. So, that, in my opinion, makes it very effective. Kill to Heal is always effective. Basically, if you get a kill with every sticky bomb that you detonate, the 900 damage that you deal, you get 100% of that back in Kill to Heal. So if you just hit the entire enemy team with one bomb apiece, and they all die, every bomb nets you its equivalent value. So at max Kill to Heal, it's very effective to run Bomb King. And because you have CC and knockback, you can poppy people off for an easy kill. You can grumpy for a stun that hits multiple people and get an elim instead. Or you can kill them. It's very effective. These are two go-tos. Now, in your red category, don't buy Bulldozer. One bomb is a one-shot on almost any deployable. Don't do it. I said almost. Wrecker is effective, but Wrecker is very important. Wrecker on Bomb King works like this. Not boom. I don't have to detonate it to get the bonus Wrecker. That would deal damage. 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 Oh, look at my little babies. Look at my little baby pumpkins. I'm sorry they have to die. Bam! Cut out in the child support payments. Kill all my kids. Bams. Why did I push that button? I pushed the wrong button. But that's the thing with Bomb King. Wrecker is effective because you don't have to detonate. I get that. Cauterize is not as effective. Because of the fact that, again, you have to account for the hit and the trajectory. So it's not as an effective strategy. You're cauterizing that basically as soon as it runs out. You're reapplying cauterize as soon as it runs out. And that's only if you're doing that. Looking at... Why am I pushing the wrong button? In my opinion, the best thing you can run is Deft Hands. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, watch. That's a rather long time. So now we buy that. That's much faster. That's much better. And then max it out. You see how fast you are able to come out. And you really need it on him because of the fact that his damage is so... He relies more on reloading than a lot of other champions. And I tell this all the time. He has to reload so often. And if you're trying to reload and you have to interrupt it with a shatter, with a, and you're trying to, let's say you start to reload, right? And you have to interrupt it there. And then you want to reload again, you need that extra speed in that. Now we're going to talk about your ult, and this will be the last part of the video. His ult is very effective. Here's the thing. This is not an effective strategy on Bomb King. That's not effective. Okay? Let me tell you what is effective. Ready? Now. This is nice. But your target's gonna get up before then, usually. Do I have to really work it all the way down? I do? Okay, we'll just max out the morale boost.
King is under fire.
There we go. This is a much more effective strategy on Bomb King. Okay?
Give your king a big hug. Double kill.
What did I just do there? What made that so effective? In a wide open area, that little pop-up takes away a lot of the vulnerability that you have as Bomb King. Plain and simple. The ability to simply go up into the air and start your wind-up is much more effective. Because of the simple fact of the matter that you can just quite simply... I'm just gonna get some kills real quick.
Annihilation! Double kill.
There we go. Okay. This wind-up time. So instead of just ulting on the ground here, give your king a big hug, and then rolling through like that. And another more effective strategy, again, copying yourself backwards and then charging forward. That gives you even more advantages because it means that you quite simply can just do that. Rather than catapulting yourself forward, which you can also do as well.
Give your king a big hug.
You can catapult yourself forward as well. But your Poppy Bomb gives you an effective option to start your wind-up. You know that your wind-up is almost good when you land. So, that is how more effectively to use your bomb. Your King Bomb. For your Poppy Bomb, another thing to realize is that you have an arc on your bomb as well. So, that's not going to work. You need to aim high. And realize that your Poppy Bomb is not effective over long ranges. Here's what I'm talking about. Right? You notice how I have to aim high to hit them. Your Grumpy Bomb, I'm gonna move up a bit closer, has a similar arc. So you can still do that. Now you don't want to overshoot. Like that. I'm trying to hit the yin and back and I hit Fernando instead. Roughly the same arc. It's not gonna hit. It's not gonna hit the yin. And yet, for roughly the same arc, I'm still not... Oh, shit. I'm still not hitting the yin. Anyway, well, I fucked that up. Anyways, that has been Bomb King in a nutshell. And just for the fuckery of it.
Give your king a big hug. Double kill. Gloriously. Triple kill.
Bam!
Extra kill.
That's how we end it. With BAMs!